For a parent, it's not possible to ever completely get over the death of a child, especially one lost in a violent or tragic way. When nobody has been brought to justice or accountability for your family's loss, the grieving process is a particularly grueling experience, as the parents of Tintawee Christian can unfortunately attest. The 16-year-old St. Croix teenager was gunned down in a drive-by shooting 2 years ago while walking in his Sion Farm neighborhood. His mother, Shimona Kasken, says the time since Christian's death has been excruciating for the family, particularly as they have received no information that could bring them closer to closure.
Since his passing, it's been difficult. I may not display, um, but it's very hard. Just to imagine losing your son and having to live with it every day, no justice, it's very, very difficult. I mean, sleepless nights. Sometimes I, send a text to his dad, to my older sister, just breaking down, saying, the things that I feel. Sometimes I'm at work and out of the blue, I just break down. A little memory may come across my mind. I just break down. I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling good. We conversating, ready to be on my way to work or anything. And sometimes I just break down. It's like I'm still in denial. Like, Tintawee is really gone. You know, um, Having justice, we want justice. It's not going to bring him back, but at least it'll bring some kind of closure.
The grieving mother's pain is made more acute because her commute takes her past the area Christian lost his life on August 17th, 2020. Her daily walk is a constant reminder that her son is no longer among the living. During an exclusive interview with consortium publisher Ernest Gilbert on Sunday, Kaskin recalled calling her daughter after she heard news about a shooting in her neighborhood.
I was at work at the time, and when I got the message, I called her, and she said, he was still outside, and stuff like that. So when I started calling his cell phone, I didn't get no answer, and usually he picks up one time. Yes, ma'am. I didn't get no answer. I called maybe 3 or 4 times. So I called her back and I said, your brother ain't answer your phone. You call him and see if he answer for you. You know. Then my messenger started to ring, and it was one of the neighbors who was calling. So I run out of work. I called dad, I called my sister, and I went there. And it's just to see your son laying there, tears in his eyes. It just the worst feeling.
The teenager was supposed to be working with his father, Brian Christian, that day, but had taken a few days off after complaining about a pinched nerve in his back.
It's just so hard. Up to now, I can't believe that I seen my son photo and a funeral booklet, and waking up to see that every morning. I mean, it's even more intense because sometimes he comes to me in a dream, and in the middle of the night I might wake up, it's just like a constant pain, like we learn to live with it because it's like, it's beyond our control to, even do anything about it. So we can't bring him back or anything, so it's something that we have to learn to live with. Really need justice. We really need justice. It would bring closure. At least we could know that these people, the individuals who are responsible for that, are no longer walking amongst us, because it's like, they commit this crime and nobody have been even arrested, much less shake down. We at least needed, for them to get shake down so they could be, okay, they watching us, and they continue to be out here and they're doing the same thing over and over.
So they feel like, hey, I could continue doing things like this and it's okay. Yeah. And it's really not okay.
It's really not.
Tintawee Christian, who has been described by many who knew him as vibrant, smart, and full of potential, would have celebrated his 19th birthday on September 25th. Before he died 2 years ago, his parents said he was busy thinking of how he would be celebrating the day he would have turned 17. Today, his family wonders what Tintawee would be doing now and what he would have eventually become had he lived. His sister, Tintawee, says she had difficulty coping for the first year after he died, but now she manages by thinking back on the interactions she had with her older brother. She described the lingering effects the sound of the shooting still has on her to this day.
I don't really cry about it. I just think about our memories and smile or laugh and just feel like, yeah, that was this had fun. It was a crazy brother, I was a crazy sister, you know. And it's not hard right now, but like when I think about it, some days it'll be hard, some days it'll be easier, some days. Sometimes the night will replay in my head. You know, like every time I hear a noise, like I was in the house when it happened, so every time I hear a noise, I just jump and start to shake a little bit, like if I hear shots or anything.
It's a trauma that the rest of the family knows too well, trauma compounded by the understandable reluctance of potential eyewitnesses to speak up.
Not to question the Almighty, they say everything happened for a reason, but I still searching for the reason why. People say maybe it was just his time, but he had so much life in front of him. He had so much to accomplish. He had so much plans. He wasn't even involved in what was going on.
We question people, some of the people who was there that night, they, probably don't want to say anything, but we know better. We know better. The shots may not have been for him, but it may fact that, he was there.
We've been keeping in communication with the detective that assigned to the case. The main thing is for someone to comfort. We need someone who was there that night, that saw what happened, that, come forward, say what you see. That's all we need, at least that they could have, that, what they call probable cause or whatever to go after that person. But even though the community know how St. Croix, how things run there, and the streets, the word is out there, everybody done, the names done called, but in order for the law to do something, they need somebody to come forward and say, yeah, I see this person, be a witness as to what happened.
And I know it's not an easy thing, just for that person to do. So that's why we ask in the community to please, especially for those who have been there that night, to come forward.
The teenager's room has remained the same since the day he died. Nothing has been moved, and his mother says she has no intention of changing anything. While they wait on law enforcement to hopefully one day soon provide answers and closure, family members keep Tintawee's memory alive by reviewing his text messages and videos and remembering good days spent with their beloved son and brother.